What's going on, y'all? Long time no see. I know I said I'm gonna be consistent with the videos. Life is more important. So short and sweet with that. Hope everybody's doing well. I am back with the videos though. Try to upload at least once or twice a week. In today's video, I'm gonna be demonstrating how to lock a VTC gear. Not VTEC. VTC gear is the actuator. So like if you have what do you call it? If you have big cams in your car, you don't want 50 degrees of timing on the actuator. I don't even think you want 45. I'm not a tuner. I could be wrong about that, but normally when you have big cams in your car, you want to lock or get a limiter pin from one of those websites that can lock it to 35, 25, I think even maybe 40. But like I said, 40 and up is kind of pushing it with bigger cams, if I'm not mistaken. So today I'm gonna show y'all how to DIY lock a factory 25 degree out of a CRV, a cord, something like that. It's the RAA cam gear. Instead of buying a pin, you could just cut like a 10 millimeter bolt, cut the head off, and put it in between the slots on the cam gear, which I'm about to demonstrate to you now. All right, so when you take off this plate, of course, that goes in the front of it. I've already done it. I'm gonna take that out. That's my 10 mil right there. All right, so when you have it, when you first take it out, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, trying to line it up for y'all. I'm using one hand. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be lined up, and this pin goes in there with this spring. This pin and the spring are together like this, and when you first take the cover off, that's what you'll see down in there. You want to flip it to pop both of these out, the spring and this little pin. What you want to do is take this and move it to the right. Now you're at 25 degrees. What you also want to do now, you want to take a 10 millimeter and just, it fell down in there for me perfectly. So yeah, you want to put it right there, and what that does is it locks it to where it can't move back to 0. It'll just be locked at 25. And then what you want to do, get you some type of Loctite, not red, you want to use blue, and just put the plate back on. Put your bolts in. I've already got some thread lock on there. Put your bolts back in, and it's just simple as that. Now, the tricky part about this that you have to keep in mind when doing this, when you do your timing marks on the cam gear will not line up, because it's already, so this little dial right here normally is this way. It's been turned this way because you locked it. All right, so when it's turned this way, these timing marks are going to be they're going to be turned this way if they're in the correct position, right? Without it being locked, they're kind of to the left. Now when you turn it, when you lock the actuator, it goes to the right, and I'll demonstrate that to y'all when I put the gear on the cam. I'm going to show y'all what to do when you time the motor, because you're going to be confusing the hell out of yourself if you sit there and try to time it with these marks, because these marks are no longer a part of the equation. I'm going to show that to you in just a few seconds. All right, guys, so I got everything back on timing. Just want to demonstrate real quick what I mean. I might sound muffled, I'm sorry. I have my mask on. It's very cold outside. So just want to demonstrate to you all what I mean by your timing marks will be off. So exhaust, that's where it's supposed to be, because you can't lock this, you can't modify this. This is just It's gonna be one way. So that's lined up properly, as you can see. Now, the intake is not, because this is locked into a fixed position to where this stays at 25 degrees. It's gonna stay at that. Idle, it's gonna stay at that at, you know, full throttle, you know, just cruising down the street. It's gonna be at 25 as long as the car is running. That's where it's gonna be at. So what you wanna do when you're back here, you wanna make sure the post plates are lined up correctly. That is how you're going to get top dead center when you lock your VTC. If you try to line up the cam gears over there, you're gonna enjoy yourself crazy. So you have to line it up. You have to line up top dead center through the post plates back here. That's the only way this is gonna work when you lock the VTC. I hope that makes sense. You know, trying to think, am I leaving anything else out? Yeah. So when it comes to idle and just, you know, the drivability of the car with it locked like this, it's gonna run like normal. It's not gonna be like VTEC killer. It will idle a little rough. It'll idle rough. It'll sound like it's got a cam in it, but it won't be as bad as VTEC killer. It'll be a little bit more subtle. I'll demonstrate that too in another video. But yeah, it won't be as bad as VTEC killer. People say, oh, it'll run like trash, this and that, a third. Like, that's not true. VTEC killer, yes, that's true, but locking the VTC, it won't be that bad. So I hope this video helps some people out there that want to do this. Instead of buying the pins, you could just cut a bolt that fit in that little slot I showed earlier in the video, and go that way, you know, so you don't have to buy those pins. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting this back together and catch y'all in the next one.